España cambia mi mentalidad. Y yo creo bien para algunas cosas, pero no todo, porque
there's no way that Spain is going to hurt you in the way that you can regress something. Everything for you should be an advancement right now.
You see, it does come with an advancement because I realized, back on our trip to Sevilla, when we went to see friends, I realized how much Spain has changed me.
Tell me more.
Because at that point, I was the one kind of talking about things, like showing our friends, being that it was their first time in Spain, I was showing our friends stuff. I was talking to them about things, and I'm explaining, it's because of this. I'm justifying these things now.
So what you're doing is defending Spain to the eyes of the forasteros.
I always felt that I was defending Spain, but what I'm saying to you is that it's become so natural that I don't see the things the same way that I used to. Like anything, just the idea of certain behaviors of
Okay. So what you're saying is that Explain It To Me section has helped you so much to become a Spanish citizen that now you're starting to think as an Spaniard. Is that what you're saying?
I am not saying that. I am not, because for explain it to me to help me, I would first need to understand what the hell you explained to me. Explain it to me. There are too many dead ends and loopholes.
We have a saying. A buen entendedor, pocas palabras bastan. So if you're smart enough, you should understand what I say.
No. Now, like for instance, when it comes down to food, food was one of the things that I was really happy to showcase, and that we was really happy to take them around. Our friends FNA from Frankie and Alex, and of course Everly, the queen of them all.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to meet them in Sevilla. We got to finally meet up, but taking them out for food and like having them try food for the first time. So can you show us how we're supposed to do this?
Okay, so jamón de bellota is supposed to be, it's supposed to be almost transparent when they cut it. So actually this is a profession here in Spain, the people that cut ham, and that's all they do. And like good high-end restaurants have their own ham cutter, and that's all they do.
What are they called? What's the ham cutter called?
Cortador de jamón.
Everly said me.
Wow.
And if you think it's prosciutto, it's not. And don't say that out loud for everybody to hear you, okay?
It's kind of like the fanny pack, the bum bag.
That's so good. There's a little bit of salt in it, yeah.
Yes.
And I'm telling you gotta try this. You gotta try this. This is good. This is great.
This, you might not like it at the beginning, but give it a second try.
It's as if I cooked the goddamn meal myself. I'm so proud to watch people eat the food. And I'm like, yeah, you like that, right? Yeah.
I'm so proud of myself.
I almost felt creepy in the sense, like, smiling at somebody as they enjoy the food, like. What movie is that? Anger Management. When that's what I was doing.
That's exactly what you were doing, and I'm so proud of myself because you're a result of my project. You're Project 101, and this is like an inside joke that we have here at home. But every time that we have somebody coming from outside of Spain to come visit Spain, like I always call them by projects. Everybody that comes, because my whole goal is to españolizarlos, especially with the food. And especially when somebody tells me, I don't like this, I don't usually like that, I'm like, I'm going to give you something that will change your life.
It's not very healthy to call people projects. Especially when you come from a country that's built on community and people, and when you leave the country, you're like, oh, these are my projects out here. That is not exactly a very human thing to do.
But I really like I think it's just kind of cities in general where there's like the culture of just walking around and sitting places. And like going out to eat and, being in the community. We live in such a rural place where you don't really get that. You have to like go out of your way to find community. Whereas I feel like in cities like Seville, you can just roll out your door and find people to mingle with. And I think that's pretty sweet.
Now getting to the serious part, I think that there is a misconception that here in Spain we only eat paella and drink wine.
Yes.
Like that's what we do on a daily basis because we don't work and God knows what other stereotypes people have around.
But look at all the
world.
food that we had them try.
But the main thing is that yes, you can eat whatever you want around Spain. You can ask for a paella in whatever city you want, but it's not necessarily a national dish. We have other dishes that go around Spain, and some of the ones that we try, for example, is salmorejo. Very typical from Cordoba, from Andalusia, but you can eat it in Seville. And
I don't remember which one is who?
And remember that we actually had it in that other bar that we like so much.
Oh,
It was the bread with the red.
Yes.
It's actually a tomato juice.
I was giving myself the smile just now because I was eating that, and that was delicious.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's a soup juice, but it's a summer soup, so it's usually cold. And in the dishes that we tried it, they put it with the bread and with the boquerón on top, right? And by the way, like I'm horrible with translations in English sometimes because obviously it's my second language. So I call sardine to anything, to any fish, small fish.
Any little fish is a sardine for you?
Yeah, but not for me. Like whenever I talk in English, but like for example in Spanish it's boquerón. Then we have sardinas, obviamente, anchoas. Like we have different names because they're different fish. But in English I always say sardines to everything because if I have to explain certain technicalities of the Spanish cuisine, people will be like, "No, I'm not trying that." Like for example, cazón.
A cazón, yes.
So cazón is a fish that it comes from the family of the shark. So I usually like joke with people when they come and I'm like, hey, have you eaten shark ever? This is gonna be your first time, right? So they tried cazón, they tried shark. And it's delicious. It's something that you don't expect to eat.
It's not something that you expect to eat, but I think it's the fact that, again, like you said, they don't expect the food that come here. Like the thought process of when you come to Spain, what is it that I'm gonna eat? I'm gonna eat rice. That's the immediate thought. I'm having some rice. But they got to try jamón. They got to try, how you say that thing again? Salmorejo. Salmorejo.
Yeah.
Con boquerones.
Con boquerones, sí.
They
try the fried boquerones as well, that they loved it. They had rabo. They had carrillera.
We've just been eating, so eat all the food. The food is very good.
Now, one of the things that like really wow, because this is like a big thing, a stigma that follows me everywhere I go, which is we do great things here in Spain, especially food-wise, but then other countries take credit for that. So for example, when an American or a Canadian or somebody from another country says jamón, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, prosciutto. And I feel like my heart like stops right there. That's not good.
Well, I mean, y'all are very secretive. Y'all keep everything very close to you. You don't
So you
share
have to make some effort to actually understand what we have and to appreciate what we have. So anyway, that drives me crazy. And I know it drives crazy a lot of people. So I brought you something for the product of the week. It is Fuet Keto Protein. Tengo que decir que no es una colaboración, que no nos han pagado, la marca no sabe que estamos haciendo esto. By law, I have to say that. So once again, so Best Diet, Fuet Keto Protein. And the reason why is because a lot of people are going to say, can you stop reinventing the wheel? Just have the Fuet from Cataluña, de toda la vida. All these creations and inventions that then destroy the name of something. So I got your Fuet.
I'm happy with that, but it's keto?
It's keto protein. Sin azúcares añadidos, so to control, your health and stuff. Oh. And I don't know where it's from, where it's made, but it says here that it's distributed by a Polígono in Sevilla. So it's related to our trip in Sevilla.
Is it now? Is that how
Let me help you on that. Because if not, I have. All right, so let the verdict win.
So this is... Ooh.
That's Fuet, and it has like... I don't know how much protein.
How much protein does this thing have?
A ver, valor
It's Fuet, so it should win, right?
Proteínas, 36 gramos por cada 100 gramos.
It's really soft.
Is it?
It's not soft, but it doesn't have that snap.
The dryness of the Fuet. This reminds me of, we follow this guy on TikTok. He's called something, I don't know. I thought you were going to eat it all, so I'm like, I want to try it too. I have to give you a bite. So we followed this guy on TikTok, and he tried a vegan fue.
This vegan fue?
And so he did all these cinematic shots and everything like to make it look great. I'm like, I can't believe a vegan fue is gonna be good. Like we have to try it for the product of the week. And then at the end of the video, he literally said that it was shit. So
I would bet. It got a little spice to it too.
it's much better than I was expecting, but it reminds me of more than fue, like salchichon.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like
Oh, you know,
fue.
like what? There's this sausage in Murcia, longaniza. It reminds me of longaniza.
We had that when I was had that.
Sí,
It tastes more like that.
sí.
I'm still eating
Doesn't
it,
look like longaniza,
I'm
but
still
it
eating
tastes like
'cause it's good.
longaniza.
It is much better. Protein?
And it has a spice to it at the end. I really thought that we weren't gonna like it, so I was like, okay, let's make a product of the week that actually make us like say it's bad, but it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Now,
It
would
does taste a little bit salty though.
yeah, salty and peppery at the end. So that's why I'm like, it's more like longaniza.
And I'm still eating it.
Would I change it for the regular fue? I wouldn't. And I actually feel like
You wouldn't?
I wouldn't change this. I mean, I wouldn't pick this over fue.
Ah, okay.
That's what I mean.
Because I need my fue. So another thing that my friends, was talking about was how late, things happen in Spain. I'm saying we eat late. Look at that.
I'm so proud of myself.
We eat later. and I get it. Like when I first came in, like I understand, like, you guys start eating, going out, like restaurants don't open up against like 9, 10 p.m. or whatever. And it's normal. But it is a little difficult to wrap your head around when you've been living your whole life eating dinner around 7 and 9 p.m. I see why it can be difficult, but especially for them, they have a baby, and we're not used to keeping our babies out past 10 o'clock
When
at
you
night.
say we, what are you talking about?
I'm just saying in the U.S.
Okay, specify that because we don't have kids.
But at the end of the day, we don't do let's say the kids out to like 11, 12 o'clock at night. No, you want to be home. They should be in bed sleeping.
And I think that's a big shock in the two things, right? Like having kids up until so late here in Spain, and not every kid goes to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's something that happens more in the summertime, but it does happen that we take them out for dinner with us and doing all these things.
Que te llama Rocío, tu nombre que bien me suena. Tu nombre que bien me suena. Que te llama Rocío, tu nombre que bien me suena. Que te llama Rocío, tu nombre que. ¡Oh, delante de verdad! Nombre que bien me suena, Salatoria bendita, voy a cantar por la arena, sobre mi lamparilla, esa bendita. Canta morir, cante por la arena, que te llama Rocío, nombre que bien me suena.
Well, in the U.S., it's a little bit frowned upon if you take your kids to have dinner in restaurants.
Yeah, you don't want to. It depends on the restaurant. We had. If you bring your
Si
kids
vas
out.
a un McDonald's, that's not a restaurant. Yes, but I'm saying.
Can I finish?
Yes.
We have regular restaurants, and we have your pija restaurants, right? So if you go into like Applebee's or what's another one? Fridays. That's something where it's normal. Take the kids. You're going out there, or like
Yeah, but you wouldn't take kids to Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah,
And that's kind of a change.
You would take the kids to
for
Texas
dinner.
For dinner. Remember, 7 to 9 p.m. So you take the kids to Texas Roadhouse. Get some barbecue. However, if you're talking about like a boutique kind of restaurant that's at nighttime or fine dining, as they say, no, it will be frowned upon if you bring the kids there because it's supposed to be a nice intimate setting. We have some exquisite food, and you enjoy the meal. No one wants to hear the kids running around.
Then why never saw anybody in the Irish pub around our apartment in New York City?
Is the Irish pub a pija thing? No.
Yeah, but there weren't kids there either.
Because there's alcohol there.
There was also Coca-Cola and water and
but
stuff.
there's no. there's no food or real meal to go there.
Anywho, it is a big shocking for you guys to see
Yes,
kids
because-
outside during dinner time, even if it's not in a pijo thing, but it's just in a bar, restaurant where
It's not.
adults
It's
are
not
eating.
the fact that kids are out that's a shocking factor. It's the fact that it's accepted. Like if even when we do have our kids out late, because we hang out late sometimes, dinner could go a little bit longer. We don't do the exact soap of the mesa, but we hang out from time to time. Or when family comes over, we hang out late. Everyone's out to 10, 11 o'clock. But it's the fact that it's so socially accepted that kids are out at restaurants at that time. That's the other mind explosion for us, because if you're in a restaurant at 10, 11 o'clock, people start questioning you as a parent.
As a parent, like you're a
what are you
bad
doing? Why do you
parent.
have your kid out here this late? What are they doing in this restaurant? Why are they running around here?
I think the fact that babies are up till like 1 a.m. and yeah, it's still something that I'm trying to figure out that like it's real. Because in North America, that would be a heck no.
That's the first point, and then it's like, I don't want to hear your kid running around screaming, I don't want to eat this, I want chicken, I want a burger, I want a hot dog.
Two things. You guys are puritanos. Two, you need to teach your kids to eat everything, just like Everly. Everly ate anything and everything. Like that girl is going to be a wonderful future citizen of this world.
And we eat at toast, and we not. Mommy outside, and me say, Mama, I want to go outside. And
Every morning when you wake up.
Mommy say, No, I'm not go outside.
Not
and-
by yourself, at least.
And Mommy says, What's Mommy says?
Smack gets me every time.
And so yeah, like you have to get your kids accustomed to live outside, because otherwise then when they become teenagers, you guys complain that they don't want to go out with you guys. Well, you didn't want to go out when they were kids. Why would they want to go out with you when they're teenagers?
Is that your philosophy to it? Is that how you? Oof. Listen, I understand that in Spain, and it's a hard concept because you don't like the fact that people, like Americans and other people, complain that you guys eat so late.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just that I don't like it. Meaning, I just don't understand why it's so hard to understand. That's my point. Like, okay, I know it's late. It might be shocking for you because you go to bed at 7 o'clock in the evening. But, okay, that's your life and your daily routine. Now you're not in your daily routine. You're on vacation. So why is it so hard? Why do you want to keep doing the same things in a new country? Like, I just don't get that.
It is not hard to get. You're saying it's hard to get, but yet you don't seem to understand how it works. What is the difference of you wake up every day at 10 in the morning, right? Now you got to wait.
That's not true.
Yeah, that is damn sure not true. Now you have to wake up at 6 in the morning. Is that an easy adjustment for you?
No, but
No.
I do it and
but if
sin complaining.
if I move into bed at 6 in the morning, you're screaming at me.
It's like you when you complain about why there is something in Spanish like this or like that. It's just how it is.
No, it's not just how it is.
That's just how it
if
is.
you live life at 10 a.m. and then all of a sudden now you got to turn it back and say, all right, now I got to start living life at 6 a.m. I got to wake up earlier. It's not that easy for you to just click over and do that.
Okay, just do it quietly.
But it's the same thing. You don't do it quietly. You can't switch over to 9 a.m. quietly. So no, it's not that simple. It's the same rule that applies to it.
We have more hours of sun.
Okay,
It's like
what
later.
what does that have to do with anything?
Life moves slower towards later on the day. So
I get that's also a part of the reason why you want to stay out late and why, life can happen at, 11 p.m. for kids and everything because the sun is still out. You have this forever sun for some odd reason. The sun doesn't start setting to 3 o'clock in the morning and then it's right back there.
Exagerado.
I'm siding with you here and you're arguing with me. I'm trying to
Okay.
say I get why, all this
doesn't
stuff
sound like
happens
you're
late.
siding with
I
me.
am. You just
Okay.
you have to listen to the details. I agree with you with the fact that life happens later. Like the day doesn't end in Spain.
No, it doesn't.
That's it. It just evolves. It just
It
continues
evolves.
going.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop. That is so true. That is a good thing. You said something right.
the perspective of everyone else that come out here. Like, for them, I also feel some things with them when they start talking, like how Frankie was talking about the driving here in Spain.
I feel like it's laid back, but then when I watch people drive, I'm like, it's laid back until you're driving.
That's what I say.
And so it's like, everybody's kind of chill, but then when they're driving, they're not chill.
I told you, it's not just me that says that or see it. They have the most patience in the world when you're walking in the street and they can stop in front of you and no one cares. But the second they get in the car, there's no patience.
That's fair. Maybe that's just like, and that's coming from two New Yorkers.
But you agree with him?
Yes, I do. That's what I just said.
Oh, I thought you meant like you felt some kind of way that you were like upset that they were saying that.
No, I agree. No, I agree.
Yeah, but people had left you in comments because you had a short video about that they transform in the car. It's like a Hulk, when they transform. So when they get in the car, they transform into the Hulk or the Hyde and Clyde.
Anything else you want to add to that?
Yes, something that they mentioned is about the coffee culture in Spain. And I think I could understand the point of view that because Americans, Canadians, like Nordic countries are accustomed to a specific kind of choices for coffee, right? Like, I don't know, what one would call a specialty coffee, like cappuccino or like white mocha, whatever the case is, right? And then you guys come to Spain and you don't see necessarily that same thing. So the first thought process is, oh, there's no coffee culture in Spain. No, there's actually a lot of coffee culture in Spain.
Are you?
As a matter of fact, if you go to Malaga, in Malaga, they have like 100 types of coffee. Because of depending how much milk it has, or if it doesn't have milk, or the content of coffee, like you can customize all that. The only thing that we don't have is those creams that make things super sweet and super syrupy. But then that's not coffee culture, that's sweet culture. And now we're talking about something different. Now, do you find this change where you can find these Americans' coffee that they are called Italian way, pretending that they're better coffee because it's not? Yes, we do have them. But at the end of the day, if you're going to enjoy the country, then try the coffee that we have here. Un café con leche. What happens? You like strong coffee? The café con leche, largo de café. Or you just want what you call espresso somewhere else in Italy or whatever, then un solo corto. Or if you want una mejilla, the milk, then un cortado. But there is culture of the coffee.
I'm sensing you have been triggered. And
because I'm a coffee drinker.
I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm not going to touch this one. I agree with you.
You agree with me?
I should. I better.
Yeah, you better. Explain it to me. Hacer buenas migas.
Hacer buenas
migas.
Migas? Isn't
¿Te acuerdas
migas?
que son migas?
Migas is a food, isn't it?
Efectivamente. So migas is a dish traditionally from Extremadura and from Murcia. I'm sure there's other regions where they have it in Albacete, I'm sure, and many other regions. But in Murcia, for example, if it rains, that day you're going to find migas in restaurant. Like that's a typical thing, right? So the migas are like the white part of the bread inside. What do you call that in English?
The white part?
La miga. So anyway, so that's the dish, right? It's made with that, and then they put chorizo and pepper and other things. So the saying, el dicho de hacer buenas migas, it is said that comes from back in the days when the shepherds from different regions will get together, and each of them will put different ingredients to cook a dish called migas, and then they will forge friendship around it. So hacer buenas migas translates to get along, to hit it off right.
Isn't it
to become friends?
Isn't it make good migas?
Hacer good migas. Sí, hacer buenas. Sí.
Make good migas. Right?
Sí.
Is it migas because it's a food and it's a very close way of saying amigas or
no,
amigos?
it's migas because hacer buenas migas is like you get together to cook really good migas, and while you cook it and everybody put their ingredients, then we forge a friendship and we all get along.
So let me get this straight. Everyone gets together to cook migas. Mm-hmm. Everyone don't get together to cook paella or another big dish that you guys have, no?
No, sí, pero this is the one that the shepherds will use because they have bread, because it was an easy thing to eat and to carry along. So at the end of the day, at the end of the night, they would just put together the rest of the migas of the bread, and then they would put everything and cook the migas plate dish. But anyway, the way that you will use it is like, let's say that you meet, let's imagine that I had a father, right? And then you meet my father, and you guys get along really good. And then I go to my mother and I said, están haciendo buenas migas. And that means that you guys are getting along, that you're like getting it on, like hitting it right.
I don't have anything else that can mean getting along, or is that the only one?
Well, you can say se llevan bien, but es muy soso.
Oh, muy soso.
Muy soso.
Muy soso.
Hacer buenas migas.
Hacer buenas migas?
Buenas migas.
Buenas migas.
Sí.
I have not heard anybody say that. I'm guessing people don't get along around me, but
Ya estamos igual que con el gilipollas y con el tío y con el jamacuco. Just because you don't think that you heard it doesn't mean people don't say it.
You can't say that word around me, okay?
Soponcio.
Jamacuco. Oh, my head hurts. me and Hamacuco get along really well. Me and Hamacuco hace buenas migas.
There you go.
Sí.
Has visto.